The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Hey, what a nice stretch of weather we are in.
Yeah, finally having another nice day today. A little cooler than yesterday, but it starts out warmer.
Yeah, it is warm out there.
Very balmy out. Yeah. In fact, a live look outside from our camera on the Nexus Center. We begin with temperatures in the 60s, pushing 70 in parts of the area, with some wispy clouds over us, but expect another dry day today. Here's a more detailed look at these temperatures here. 59 in Rome, 62 in Saranac Lake, nearly 70 in Hamilton early today. We zoom in, 69 Westmoreland, 65 in Long Lake, 60 in Little Falls. To the south, 65 Cooperstown, and 64 degrees in Oneonta. The radar looks dry early this morning, and again, we are expecting an entirely dry day today. We're monitoring that wildfire smoke again. For now, it's still noticeable in some spots, but it's not alert level worthy at this hour. We will see those temperatures climb into the 70s, low 70s by this afternoon, with plenty of sunshine. There are updates to those rainfall chances for tomorrow as well as on the weekend. Some might be bad news, but some might be some good news. I'll have a full detailed look at that in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are staying on the story of
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning, everybody, on this Thursday. Time now is 5:12, and as you head out to work today, it is a warm start. Even in Old Forge, temperature begins at 62 degrees early today, approaching near 70 as you head to some parts of the Mohawk Valley and south. And it's a warm start, it's a dry start. Dry weather for the entire day today. A look outside on the traffic tracker, green across the board, and no accidents to report of. The radar indicating nothing in the atmosphere at this hour, and this will remain a pretty common sight today. And those temperatures, again, it's a warm start, a dry start, no impacts as you head out to work. And as you head home from work today, we'll see those conditions warm up a few more degrees. It won't be nearly as warm as yesterday, despite this warmer start. We got this cold front coming in from the north that's going to cool things down a little bit as we head into the evening. It also is going to whisk away some of that wildfire smoke. Well, the latest on that smoke potential, but again, we have those important updates for rainfall this weekend. Some good news, some bad news. Of the details in that full forecast. Gary?
Thanks. Championship weekend is nearly upon us.
We are Central New York Brain and Spine Neurosurgery, where Dr. Q cares about you.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, we are looking at another dry day today, but in the near future, more rainfall is on the way. And if we are experiencing any rainfall Saturday or Sunday, this will mark weekend number 30 of at least some point seeing a rain or snow shower. But is this atypical? Well, Bill Cardis did the crunch the numbers yesterday, and this was what happened in 2024. 41 weekends had an amount of rain or snow. We only had 11 completely dry weekends. This, of course, was measured from Griffiths in Rome. So this is not atypical. It's just the fact that we've had this extended stretch of 30 weekends straight without having one without a drop of rain or a snowflake. So either way, this is a pretty long stretch continuing on. A warm start today, mostly clear, temperatures upper 50s. I'm going to focus on this side of the screen here because between now and roughly the 12th, 13th, and 14th will be the earliest sunrises of the year. They don't really line up exactly with the longest day of the year, which is the summer solstice around the 20th, 21st, but still, it's going to be the earliest sunrise. Following the next few days, the sunrise will progressively get later and later. So enjoy the early morning twilight today and the next few days. So radar and satellite picks up on dry weather for now. We're going to be monitoring these showers you can see out to our west, because this might cause some impacts rainfall-wise for as early as tonight and even into tomorrow. But still, with this cold front moving in, it's going to whisk away a lot of this wildfire smoke throughout the day, so the skies will look a lot more clear by, say, 4 or 5 p.m. than they are this morning. And in fact, tomorrow, smoke not a concern. So any lingering moderate levels of air quality concerns today will be dropping down into the good category by tonight. So there's that front. It moves its way south. It weakens as it heads into our area by this evening. Now, the update I mentioned regarding rainfall, there could be some showers passing into our area tomorrow, but because it moves in sooner, this could also exit earlier as well. So Saturday might actually not be a complete washout. So let's take a look here. We've got dry conditions for the most part today. By tomorrow, you can see here a few more clouds in the sky and some spotty rain showers, hit or miss. Then Friday night, we'll see some showers work their way in, a little bit more widespread. Then by noontime onward, look at this. It might dry out. There might be some sunshine as well by Saturday evening, which, of course, any of you who have any Saturday plans, that's probably the best news you could hear for, weddings and stuff, Father's Day events. That may be the best news you can hear. So we are still looking at some lingering rain showers for Sunday. The uncertainty of where that rainfall goes following Saturday is still up in the air, but at least for now, if we get at least one dry day this weekend, or mostly dry day this weekend, I consider it a success.
Yeah.
After having rain in the forecast for the past few days, that'll look to be nice.
50% of the folks out there will be happy with you.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. The Anita Stevens swap head up to Water Safari. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, maybe the best opening few days weather-wise they've seen in years, right? Oh
yeah, no excuse to go out and enjoy some of the activities, some of the new activities that Water Safari has up in Old Forge today. In fact, a live look outside right now. You can even head up this morning and the temperatures would be warm enough. I'm not quite sure on their hours, so don't quote me on that. But either way, it's a very warm start to your morning. Temperatures already in the upper 50s for much of the area. In fact, parts of central New York, upper 60s, 66 Hamilton, nearing 70 in Syracuse. It is a warm morning. We zoom in. We have temperatures in the 60s up in the North Country right now, low 60s in the Mohawk Valley, pushing 70 in Oneida County, and then to the south, 50s and 60s. So we have a pretty warm start today, a dry start as well. Usually it takes a while to get a dry and a warm start. The clouds usually help us not cool down all too much overnight, but either way, it is a warm one today. Temperatures peaking in the low 70s, so not nearly as warm as yesterday. We do have some updates on that rainfall, especially for the weekend and even into tomorrow. There's some good news and some bad news, and we'll share both those coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The White House is doubling down on the need for marine.
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Thursday. Our photo of the day today takes us to a beautiful sunset taken at Verona Beach. This shot right here was by Diane Conklin of the Western Sky, and the beautiful shots of the haze in the atmosphere out in the distance, even seeing some of those rays as well. So always great to remember how many picturesque areas we have here in our backyard. I remind myself whenever I think of other places in the country that don't have lakes, that don't have mountains. Now, to be fair, we don't live on a beach in the tropicals or the tropics, and so it's not always warm, it's not always sunny, but we do have some pretty beautiful country here in central New York. So if you have a photo like that you'd like to share with us, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So we've got sunshine today. There is some changes, some updates to that forecast for tomorrow and for Saturday. That might be either good news or bad news, depending on what you're rooting for, rainfall or sunshine. The full details on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Thanks. He wrote California Girls, Help Me Rhonda, and Good.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. The time now is 5:50. If we see any drop of rain this weekend, we'll hit weekend number 30 straight without any completely dry conditions. Last time that happened was in mid-November. But research actually was done yesterday when it came to, is this an atypical thing to see rainy or lack of dry weekends? And it's not atypical. Last year, 11 weekends were completely dry. The rest of them had some form of rain or snow. That was from Griffiths in Rome. So this is not an atypical thing, but I know a lot of you are probably sick of having plans on the weekend only for rain showers to really put some dampening on them. Either way, temperatures begin in the 50s today. Muggy start. It's actually 59, pushing 70 in some spots too. I want to focus more on this though. Our sunrise is the earliest it'll be all year long. After the next few days, we'll see those sunrises progressively get later and later, not entirely lining up with the summer solstice, believe it or not. So the radar and satellite picking up on dry conditions. We'll monitor this rain shower out west of us. We got a front that's stalling over our area, and what this will do, this will whisk away a lot of this wildfire smoke. It's going to be clearing out this evening, especially by tomorrow. But when it comes to rainfall, there's some updates to it. For now, though, when it comes to air quality, expect this to decrease in terms of pollution levels to a much safer category. So here's that front. It moves south. It stalls. A passing elevated shower that's not really expected to really reach the ground. But tomorrow, a different story. So, I mentioned we got good news and bad news. So the bad news is there might be some showers tomorrow. The good news is it might be a little more dry for Saturday. Now, if you weigh those options, I know some of you might not like having rain showers on Friday, but if you have at least a drier Saturday, I think you'll take that trade-off. So here's what happens. Today, mainly dry, temperatures upper 60s, low 70s. Tonight, it's quiet. Tomorrow, that front, it's stationary. It passes over us. We could see some passing rain showers, primarily north or south of the Mohawk Valley. Then by Friday night, we see that south wind slowly push in some more rain showers by the early morning Saturday. But by the early afternoon, some of the system actually exits to our south and east, and we could see some dry weather and, yes, maybe some peaks of sunshine by the evening hours. So, again, if you have any plans tomorrow, or I should say plans on Saturday, you will definitely enjoy this outcome here. So Saturday is trending drier, Friday trending a little more wet. Sunday still up in the air right now for Father's Day. I'm closely watching some of the data we have coming in for that day as well. It's really close. We've got so many moving parts in this weekend's forecast that I want to make sure I give you guys the most accurate and honest forecast for that weekend. And sometimes I'll just honestly say it's still up in the air, and that's the case for Father's Day. Regardless, we're in the 80s by next week, so that warmth is still coming, and we're not seeing any major cool down in the near future.
Hope for the best for Dad, right?
Yes.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:54. Still ahead, one last look at the forecast and a peek.
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we've been talking about water safari for a couple of days now, and yesterday they had beautiful weather for day one, and today?
Day two, got nice weather again. Couldn't ask for better conditions to start out the season. A look outside right now, we got those sunny skies out there early this morning. Some faded sunshine as well with some of the passing clouds. And we're not completely sunny today. There will be a few more of these passing over us, but it will be a pretty nice day today temperature-wise. We're already in the 60s, upper 60s in Syracuse, and in the mid-60s in Hamilton, and even low 60s up in Saranac Lake. We zoom in. Westmoreland 67, Sylvan Beach a balmy 68, and then the mid-60s in Cooperstown and in Oneonta. The radar is tracking dry conditions to start your Thursday, and we'll expect to see dry conditions for the entire day today. Although the temperatures don't climb all too much, we are expected to reach the low 70s, so not too bad of a day out there today by any means. And as we are looking at the end of the short-term forecast for wildfire smoke, we'll see the arrival of rainfall heading into the weekend. But as I mentioned previously, there's good news and bad news. I'll explain who sees the bad news and who sees the good news when it comes to rainfall coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are staying on the story of embattled.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to Sunrise. The time now is 6:13 on this Thursday morning. As you head out to work today, similar to yesterday, really no impacts to travel. Well, actually, there was fog for the most part yesterday, a bit less foggy today. A live look outside in Old Forge. It's a warm start to your day. Temperatures are already in the mid to, in some spots, upper 60s. Pushing the low 70s as we head in this afternoon. Traffic tracker looks quiet, nothing to report accident-wise, and again, the radar picking up on completely dry conditions early today. So you head out to work, expect temperatures in the 60s with dry weather and some sunshine. Yes, there is some faint haze in the atmosphere from that wildfire smoke. It's not going to impact air quality all too much. In fact, we're going to see an improvement later on in the day today, plus heading into tomorrow with the cold front passing over us, kind of whisking away a lot of that smoke. But either way, this evening, temperatures in the 70s with breezy conditions. We'll have a look at that rainfall potential for the next few days coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Championship weekend is nearly up.
Today, tune in for the Storm Tracker 2 CommuteCast, brought to you by Munson. Visit Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Visiting Munson and the Storm Tracker 2 CommuteCast, both free and both Utica's very own. Remember, all roads lead to Munson.
Omni, cutting-edge surgery without the cutting.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. We are tracking dry weather and warm weather to start your Thursday. A live look at downtown Utica early today. We've got some wispy clouds way up in the sky, and of course that very faint smoke way up in the atmosphere as well. Temperatures begin in the low 60s, some spots in the mid to upper 60s. Muggy conditions out there right now. Feels like a typical early summer morning. But I also want to focus on this side of the screen here, the sunrise time, which is going to change as we enter the summer solstice. This is about as early as we get. In fact, this is the earliest sunrise we get for the foreseeable future. Following that, the sunrise will now get later and later in about the next couple of days. Radar and satellite picking up on a very weak cold front. You might be able to detect it right here. Here's the outline. Clouds, some rain showers out west. Here locally, though, relatively rain-free. We'll watch that rain out west of us, but for the most part, we're expecting dry weather today. And with that cold front, it's also going to whisk away a lot of that wildfire smoke that's been causing hazy skies over the past couple of days. Things will be relatively smoke-free as we head into tomorrow. So this is what's going on right now, a level 1 out of 4 or 5 air quality concern today, down to 0 by tomorrow. And 1 out of 5 really isn't too bad. But what we are looking at is the transition from dry weather to unsettled conditions. And now here's where the update takes place. When it comes to the rainfall chances for the weekend, it might actually lower, especially on Saturday. But we could see some rainfall move in as we head into Friday, as the system is moving in faster than expected. So while we're on the topic of it, just a heads up that we'll be entering, if we see a drop of rain on Saturday, weekend number 30 straight with rain or snow at some point throughout the weekend. And if you compare it to last year, it's actually not a huge outlier. We had 41 weekends with at least a drop of rain or a flurry, and 11 weekends which were completely dry. So it's not atypical to see a lack of dry weekends, but it is atypical to really see this stretch without seeing a dry weekend. Either way, today, plenty of sunshine, dry weather. Tonight, lows in the 50s and 40s. Tomorrow, we're monitoring that rainfall potential, especially north and south of the Mohawk Valley. It might not be entirely dry, but this is nothing like a washout, so just remain aware for the potential of a passing shower tomorrow. Then some early morning rainfall for your Saturday. But again, here's that silver lining. That rainfall begins to exit by the early afternoon, and we could dry out even with some sunshine by Saturday evening. So that's the latest update for the weekend. Saturday trending a little more dry, Friday trending a little more damp. And for complete transparency, still, it's looking a little unsettled for Father's Day, but there's just too much inconsistency with what we have right now to really put an official yes or no for rainfall on Sunday. So for now, we'll just monitor it. What we can tell you, though, is Saturday is trending a little more dry, which I think is a lot of great news for people having any Father's Day events on Saturday, maybe weddings, graduations. A lot of stuff takes place in June.
I know Kristen's worried about Saturday's wedding, so that's good news.
Outdoor weddings, fingers crossed it stays dry.
Eric, thanks. The Anita Stevens Swan here ahead for anyone wanting to head up to Water Safari. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, again, maybe the best few opening days weather-wise they've seen in years up there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous up there right now in Old Forge. Temperatures in the 60s. We got sunshine, a warm start. Beautiful day yesterday, nice day today. In fact, a live look down in Utica, where the temperatures are still on the warmer side in the mid-60s and still faded sunshine, but the sun is still visible, and that's the key here. Look at the current temperatures across the area. 67 Syracuse, 64 Hamilton. Let's zoom into parts of the Mohawk Valley. 65 in Little Falls, approaching 70 in Sylvan Beach and Westmoreland. And still, again, if you head up to Old Forge today, already in the upper 50s, low 60s, expected to climb, of course, even warmer throughout the day. Heading south, Hamilton 64, Richfield Springs at 64 as well. Radar starting out dry, mainly dry conditions today and plenty of sunshine with temperatures peaking in the low to mid 70s. So it's sunny today. There are some changes, some updates to that rainfall forecast as we look ahead to tomorrow and into the weekend. That full detailed forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. The White House is doubling.
Here at Central New York Brain and Spine Neurosurgery, Dr. Q cares about you.
The Oneonta is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Thursday. Our photo of the day today takes us to Verona Beach of a beautiful shot of a sunset taken yesterday. This was from Diane of a beautiful scene of the vibrant colors of the haze out to the west, but also, of course, the beautiful clouds out in the distance, too. So shout out to Diane for this photo here. And again, a reminder that we have just an incredible scenery here in central New York. Not too often do you have lakes and mountains and whatnot right in your backyard. So if you would like to share like this one, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So today, it's looking mostly dry. Temperatures in the low 70s. Same thing for tomorrow. There's a better shot for rainfall arriving Friday, but there's also maybe some better news when it comes to rainfall by Saturday. The full detailed look at that weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, he wrote California Girls, Help Me Run.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. On this Thursday, we're tracking a pretty warm start to your day and another beautiful one. Sunshine moves in, temperatures climb into the low to mid 70s. A live look outside in downtown Utica where things are starting to improve when it comes to temperatures. We're finally starting to see these warmer mornings being so late into the spring season, but this is pretty typical this time of year usually. It's again 61 degrees, muggy conditions. I want to focus more on what's happening over here with the sunrise time. 5:25, the official sunrise, give or take a few minutes here depending on the hills you see out in the distance. The reason I'm mentioning it is because as we head beyond the next 5 or 6 days, that sunrise will get a little bit later. This is the earliest sunrise of the year. It's taken place the past few days and is going to take place for the next couple. That's just the way it works when we enter that earliest sunrise. It takes a while for it to start to decrease again. So here's a look at the bigger picture. We've got this cold front. It's very faint, but you can kind of see it here. Got some rain showers heading toward Toronto in Canada at this hour. It's expected to weaken when it reaches our area, but we'll keep a close eye on those showers. But that main thing this front is doing is kind of whisking away a lot of this wildfire smoke. There won't be nearly as intense haze in the sky today compared to yesterday or even early this morning. In fact, tomorrow, a lot more clearing taking place as well. So air quality concerns today still at a moderate level. Really nothing too worrisome, but we'll keep a close eye on it throughout the next day or so. So what happens with the next few days, in fact, some updates to this forecast. We've got this rainfall band moving its way into our area, and it's going to produce some on and off rain showers tomorrow at the expense, or in fact, I should kind of morph this in a different way. It's going to make Saturday a little bit more dry, which I think is the great news here. But again, Friday might be a little bit damp. Comparing it to last year, we had 41 weekends with rain or snow, 11 weekends completely dry. So this is not an outlier of the fact that we haven't really seen a lot of dry weekends, but still, we'll take any instance of dry weather when we can. So today, plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, we start out dry. Then we could see a few passing rain showers here and there. Temperatures peaking in the low 70s. Then Saturday starts out a little damp, but watch what happens. That low pressure moves its way east. We could dry out as we head into the evening, even with some peaks of sunshine as well. So Saturday is trending a little nicer. Friday, a little bit more on the damp side. We're still watching how Father's Day shapes up, but either way, pretty nice stretch of temperatures climbing into the 80s by next week, Gary. Warming up.
Definitely enjoy today.
Yes, beautiful weather today.
Eric, thanks. Well, summer fun can quickly turn to some good news. Meteorologist Eric Gage in with that answer.
Yes, we got some sunshine out there this afternoon. We did have a very light sprinkle. That front moved through it, weakened a little bit, but matter of fact, the conditions out there right now, as we can live here with Cooperstown, not too bad out there. Temperature sitting in the upper 60s. And as I mentioned this morning, it was a warm start, but we're really not going to warm up that much more. And we are still sitting in the upper 60s, low 70s, similar to this morning, and low to mid 70s, about as warm as we'll get today. Now, normally, if we start out this warm, without a cold front passing over us, we'd likely hit the 80-degree mark. So here's what's going on the radar right now. It's pretty quiet. I want to go back an hour or so. We can see this front passing over us. It's weakening, but still, it was enough to produce a very light sprinkle in parts of our area. There was just enough low-level moisture to overcome that dry air near the surface. So again, today, high temperatures barely in the low to mid 70s. A lot more sunshine to wrap up your day today. And by tonight, we cool down a little cooler into the 50s and in some spots 40s. Now, we did have more information come in over the last hour on the latest for that weekend forecast. We'll have the latest details on that coming up in a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. 2 men face drug.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. It's turned out to be a pretty nice day today. Aside from a very brief round of sprinkles, the sun is moving back out again. But I'm just going to lead off with your weekend forecast because this is something that has been quite uncertain the past several days when it comes to the amount of rainfall expected. We knew that low pressure was going to move in, but the resolution was still very low and you can't quite pinpoint where the showers are going to fall. But now, with the latest info coming in this morning, we have a better picture on how the weekend shapes up. So, our forecast right now, morning showers Saturday will likely be the heaviest the rain will be all weekend long. Mostly cloudy skies will move in by Saturday afternoon. We can't rule out an early afternoon shower, but as you head throughout the evening, the rain becomes progressively less likely. Sunday, a few clouds and light rain. For now, it's not looking to be anything very impactful. Still just nuisance, light sprinkles and rain showers unless we see them that will dry things up. But for now, this is the way our forecast shapes up for the weekend. If you have any weekend plans, this is probably a lot better than the worst it could have been, which could have been a complete washout with steady rain all weekend long. So earlier this morning, that frontal boundary moved its way into our area, producing some light sprinkles, but it's also pushing out some of this wildfire smoke. Yes, the skies are still a little hazy, but over the next 24 hours, you'll see this smoke begin to whisk itself away. Either way, we're at a category right now where there's a moderate level of air quality concerns. AQIs of maybe around 100, which might be noticeable, but it's nothing too concerning. Again, if you were in the unhealthy to very unhealthy category in the reds and purples, that's when alerts are warranted for air quality concerns. Either way, though, this afternoon, you got great golfing weather. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. You'll be combating a westerly to northwesterly wind of around 10 to 15 miles an hour, but you add that to your challenge, that'll be something to look forward to for golfing. But the nature of the rainfall this weekend, you can see here, it's pretty sporadic. Yes, there's some pockets of heavier rain showers in the early morning hours Saturday south of us, but the low pressure is kind of wobbling mainly south of central New York. So today, dry weather. Tonight, things cool down into the 50s and 40s. Tomorrow, the trade-off for a more dry weekend is that we could see an isolated to scattered shower tomorrow, primarily north and south in the Mohawk Valley. So we're not going to see a washout tomorrow, but those shower chances are still there. Then overnight, there goes those rain showers, and by Saturday morning, lingering rain ends, and we will see some drying conditions by Saturday evening. I think the clouds might stick around a little bit longer than what our model there shows. So I wouldn't count on sunshine as much as I would count on more dry weather Saturday evening. And then, of course, on Sunday, some scattered showers. Really nothing too serious, no heavy downpours at this point, which, again, I mean, looking at how this weekend was shaping up and just fingers crossed, we got at least something, I mean, better than widespread rain. This is turning out to be a lot better of a solution, so we're looking forward to this.
Good news. Maybe it'll even get in.
I hope so.
Eric, thanks. While Los Angeles is bracing for a meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and everyone looking towards the big Father's Day weekend and some rain, right?
Some rain, but it is trending on the less rain side, which I guess is the great news we're talking about here. But the research was done on the weekends we've had and the weekends we didn't have with the amount of rain we had. But let's go back. So we're entering, if we get a drop of rain this weekend, 30 weekends straight of at least a drop of rain. We get back to 2024, and we had about 41 weekends with rain or snow, 11 completely dry weekends all of last year. This is from Griffiths and Rome, the stats from the base there, or the former base. So this is not atypical to see a lack of completely dry weekends. I think it's more so the fact that we haven't really had a dry weekend in this stretch. It's been 30 weekends straight, which will likely include this weekend as well, this upcoming one, with some on and off rain showers. But as I mentioned previously, it is trending more on the dry side. We'll have that weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes. Live look at downtown Cooperstown right now. Pretty busy scene out there. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. So we haven't really warmed up all too much despite this warm start today. The radar is dry after some very light sprinkles passed over us earlier this morning. which is now exiting to our south and east. So the rest of the day will actually be pretty dry. Temperatures will be peaking in the low 70s. We cool down into the 50s and 40s tonight. Another cool night, but again, we do have some updates on tomorrow's forecast, plus that all-important Father's Day weekend forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon, several corrections officers.
Did you dispute your ticket yet?
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. It's turned out to be a pretty nice day today. Aside from an isolated sprinkle, things have quickly dried up. But let's take a look at the weekend forecast. The most important thing, of course, Father's Day weekend is right around the corner. And all week long, we've been closely watching it because there have been signals of rain showers moving in. And we were hoping that at least it would show some semblance of dry weather moving in, at least for parts of the day. And that has been the case so far with the latest data that came in at least earlier this morning. So the heaviest of rain is really expected to fall Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy skies working in the afternoon. It progressively dries out throughout the day. Sunday, scattered light rain showers. They might be nuisance showers, but it's not expected to be a complete washout with steady rain all day long. Temperatures upper 60s, low 70s. It could be worse. So the fact that we have some periods of dry weather, this is great news. However, though, our stretch of rainy weekends, the record continues on. So radar and satellite picking up on this cold front. You can see the very faint outline right here. This did fire up a light sprinkle earlier this morning. That since has ended, and we are not expecting any more rain in the Mohawk Valley and south throughout the remainder of the afternoon and into the overnight hours. Still, though, what this front is doing is whisking away some of that wildfire smoke. AQI levels, or where we measure the air quality, sits right now still at a moderate level, but by tonight and tomorrow, this might dip down either from here down to good, or if there's any lingering smoke left. Still, this is not anything that will impact breathing at least all too much when it comes to those of you with who are unusually sensitive to particulates in the atmosphere. Usually when you get up to here or unhealthy or very unhealthy category, that's when everyone should remain indoors. But again, for now, the levels are still at a moderate level. So even though the conditions outside had a light sprinkle, it's still a very nice afternoon to head out and go over the golf course. Great conditions between 12 and 6 p.m. even onwards. Head out to the greens today and enjoy the nicer weather, because this weekend might not be so dry. But you can see here some of these showers, they're really not steady. They're hit or miss, but at least much of the heavier of rainfall stays to our south. So on our Skycast, the rest of the afternoon and evening remain dry. Tonight, overnight lows fall down into the 50s and 40s with mainly dry conditions again. The trade-off for a drier weekend means we could see some isolated sprinkles and showers tomorrow. That's the case with what's going on with this front stalling over us again. It's not expected again to be anything like a steady rain shower, but just don't be alarmed if you see some showers pop up here and there. That rain moves in Saturday morning, and as we head throughout the day, things will gradually dry out. Now, our model here shows some sunshine moving in by Saturday evening. My thoughts are that there might be some clouds sticking around a little while longer. Your 7-day forecast, even though we got some shower chances heading into the weekend, we're still not done with the warmer weather. We're back into the upper 70s to low 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are back with News Talk this noon. Our guest.
Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. Beautiful day today, but
Yes.
a little windy.
A little windy, but the wind was pretty nice. Maybe a little annoying at times, but it's been really nice to see that and the sunshine. Looking at temperatures in the low 70s, peak wind gusts got as high as 34 miles an hour in Herkimer. Griffiths and Rome as high as 25 miles an hour. It's been a beautiful day, 71 degrees, comfortable, low humidity, gorgeous afternoon. Second day in a row where we're not really dealing with any rain. And we're going to put it to 3 days tomorrow. A live look at the Eric Field Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Air quality is going to improve. We have noticed a very minor decrease in air quality with wildfire smoke from Canada, but it really hasn't been a big deal. We'll cool off tonight, a brief sprinkle, otherwise pleasant weather tomorrow. The weekend is trending drier. We do have rain chances both Saturday and Sunday, but it has improved, and it doesn't look like a washout on either day. Look at sunny skies this evening, temperatures in the 60s. Again, it cools off tonight. We're taking a look at the weekend forecast coming up. Chris, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. A heated exchange on the House.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Another nice day across Central New York. Windy, but a lot less humid. Heading into the weekend, showers look to return both Saturday and Sunday. It's not trending washout level. In fact, I think most of the weekend should be not raining compared to raining. It looks like our best chance will be Saturday morning as well as Sunday afternoon. Live look at downtown Utica, gorgeous day. Yes, it's been windy. The wind will ease back as we head into this evening, but we've had low humidity, a little bit of air quality, a decrease in air quality, a temperature of 71. But again, it's really nice out there. Skies will look clear as we head into tonight, and tomorrow looks pretty dry. For the farmers that are trying to get the hay cut and baled, we are looking at good weather for the short term, but as we head into the weekend, again, with rain in the forecast, it's not going to be so nice to do that. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, it looks quiet across the region. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. A little bit of wildfire smoke today. You might have noticed it, a very light smell in the air from that. This originates from Canada, Western Canada. Winds turn into the north, and that's going to push any smoke to the south. We may have very minor levels of air quality issues heading into Saturday, but it is not expected to be as noticeable as last Saturday when the smoke was a little bit thicker. Bigger picture, we've got high pressure in control of our weather. It's going to be chilly tonight. A lot of places will fall into the 40s. Our weather will start to change as areas of low pressure work in from the west. That'll give us a better chance for rain heading into the weekend. Clear skies tonight with the low humidity and the winds backing off. It's going to allow for temperatures to fall into the 40s, so chilly for mid-June standards. Looking at sunshine tomorrow, a few extra clouds in the afternoon, and there's a very, very low chance of a sprinkle. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Heading into tomorrow night, mostly cloudy skies. Showers are expected early Saturday. We should get a chance to dry out in the afternoon. High temperatures climb into the low 70s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies on the cooler side, a low of 49. Tomorrow, a pretty nice day, partly sunny and isolated shower. High temperature of 72. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A few showers early Saturday, 72. Father's Day, showers in the afternoon. Again, it doesn't look to be a washout either on both weekend days. Monday, mostly cloudy, 76. We get into a humid, very warm weather pattern next week with pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Looking ahead to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And also, look at the overnight lows. They come up big time. So if you haven't put it in the air conditioner yet, you might want to start thinking about that.
All right, summer is here.
Yes, thank you, Bill. A concert,
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
So we're talking about the sunrise. For those of you that are early risers, the sun comes up these days at 5:20 in the morning. This is the earliest sunrise of the entire year. It started today. It will continue throughout the rest of the week. Like the winter time, the earliest sunrise and the latest sunset of the year are staggered. They don't occur on the summer solstice. It's 1 week earlier for the earliest sunrises and 1 week later for the latest sunsets of the year. And that's due to something called the equation of time. So again, we are getting into that time of the year. We're getting into the summer solstice, which is a little over a week away. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Beautiful evening, nice and dry. We're expecting the weather to remain pretty quiet here for the short term. Temperatures will be in the low 70s over the next couple of days, but we'll start to warm up. It's looking a lot more humid as we look ahead to next week. Beautiful day, a beautiful evening, low humidity. The breeze will start to wind down too. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Tonight's featured dog, Cairo from Utica. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Every other weekend will be...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A beautiful day today. We had a bit of a breeze throughout the afternoon, but the humidity a lot lower, and it's very, very comfortable outside. Temperatures in the low 70s. Let's take a live look at Oneonta. This light haze you're seeing in the air is wildfire smoke. It's not having a significant impact on air quality, but if you're really sensitive to this, you might notice it. The air quality is going to improve over the next 24 hours as winds push any residual wildfire smoke out of central New York. You might have seen stats like this floating out on social media. We've been talking about this too, about how many consecutive weekends we've had with some kind of rain or snow. I just want to kind of just reiterate here that we are expecting some showers over the weekend, so this will be weekend number 30. But these stats can be a little deceptive because if you have rain for even just a few minutes at any point in the weekend, that would count as a wet weekend. So they're not all washouts. In fact, there were a few of them during this stretch. There were, I think, 3 or 4 of them where we only had a very small amount of rain on one of those days. In fact, one of those days, there was a snow shower 10 minutes before midnight. Otherwise, the entire weekend was dry. So again, on paper, yes, 30 in a row, but in reality, not necessarily. Air conditioning, if you use it, you're going to want to use it here, install it by next week because we've got some humidity on the way and much warmer weather. Next couple of days will be pretty comfortable, but that is going to change looking down the road. Looking at cutting the lawn over the next couple of days, if you didn't get a chance to do it today, tomorrow's a nice day. Saturday, you could do it late. Sunday is going to be a little bit more challenging. Our Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Dry conditions out there this evening, a beautiful evening. A reminder, you can always get weather information, watches, warnings, even notifications on heavy rain and lightning by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Canadian wildfire smoke thinning out over the next 24 hours. It really wasn't too bad today, but again, air quality does improve tomorrow. Clinton 73, Mike in New Hartford 71, Barneveld 68, Jeff and Mohawk 72, Westford checking in with 72. Again, just a very pleasant day across central New York. The bigger picture shows our next weather maker approaching from the west. These clouds and showers out near Minnesota will be moving east, and that will be the weather for the weekend. Tonight's cool. Overnight lows drop into the 40s. Looking at sunshine tomorrow mixed with clouds. There's a very slight chance of a sprinkle. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Better chance for showers tomorrow night as well as early Saturday. The first part of the day looks wet, but the second half looks nice. Should see some sunshine. Temperatures climb into the low 70s later in the day. Partly cloudy tonight, low 49. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, an isolated shower, 72 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers expected early Saturday as well as late Sunday, highs in the low 70s. Monday, mostly cloudy, 76. It turns warm and humid next week. Highs in the low 80s, pop-up showers and thunderstorms. We'll be right back.
Bill Curtis.
An outstanding day today with low humidity and dry conditions, lots of sunshine. Been windy today at times. Our peak wind gusts 34 miles an hour in Herkimer. Wind gusts over 20 miles an hour for many areas, including Old Forge, Griffiths, Lawrence, Westmoreland, and Brookfield. The winds will be dying off this evening, and we won't be dealing with them tomorrow as much. 70 degrees is the current temperature. It's very comfortable outside. Dew point's 46. We did have a very small amount of wildfire smoke in the air. You might notice a little bit of a haze, but it's not causing any big problems out there. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look pretty quiet. Air quality becomes good tomorrow as winds turn into the north. We are looking at quiet conditions, cool weather tonight. We dropped down into the 40s. That's pretty cool for June. We've got a brief sprinkle, otherwise a pleasant day tomorrow. And the weekend is trending drier. There will be a few showers around both Saturday and Sunday, but neither day looks to be a washout. Sunny skies this evening, very comfortable. Temperatures cool off into the 60s. We've got to look at the weekend forecast coming up. Jace, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A few $1,000s raised.
Cool tonight, comfortable tomorrow. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. We're tracking a few showers as we head into the weekend. And some more weather early next week. I've got to look at your forecast tonight at 10 and 11.
That will do it for News Channel 2 at 6.
From all of us here, have a great night. Meteorologist Bill Curtis. You guys have been running in and outside before we talk, we got to talk about the sunset because it's a gorgeous one.
Absolutely, gorgeous one. There is a chance that the Northern Lights might be out tonight.
Okay.
I'll let you know if they are, but we've got a nice sunset taking place. This is Nick and Skylar. The wildfire smoke's been in the sky. It's been noticeable out there, but it's not enough to cause any pollution issues. Not enough where you'll have any issues with this. As we go forward, we've got dry weather in store tonight. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are looking pretty quiet. Temperatures are in the 50s. We have clear skies. So again, we're keeping an eye to the north tonight. We might see the northern lights here. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s. It is going to be a cool night across central New York. Much more comfortable sleeping conditions with low humidity in place. We've got a dry day tomorrow before rain returns for the weekend. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Construction at an intersection in Clinton.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. The Northern Lights are out tonight. This picture was snapped just moments ago from our view here just outside the parking lot on Smith Hill. This is in camera mode, but you can see just a very faint glow. The solar storm is expected to get a little bit better tonight, so if you're out chasing these, actually should be a pretty good night for that. Clear skies, and again, this was not expected to happen, but here it is. And we'll continue to keep you updated if this gets any better. Live look at downtown Utica, 59 degrees. It is a cool night. It's comfortable. Temperatures are going to drop into the 40s. We have low humidity in place, and we are unfortunately not going to hold on to this weather here. Things are going to change for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. A few showers around both days, especially early Saturday as well as late Sunday. The weekend does not look to be a washout at this point. By the way, you might have heard this stat being passed along before. We've had it's going to be 30 consecutive weekends where we've had rain at some point. This will likely be another one. It's not uncommon for this to happen. Getting rain on weekends is very much a thing. At least in the wintertime, it's very wet in the winter and snowy. But again, we've been keeping track of this here for the past several weeks. Looking at the forecast going forward, it's great weather tomorrow as well as the start of the weekend, at least the very beginning of Saturday, but then rain is going to be moving in. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet across the region. We're expecting dry weather to continue tonight. Reminder, you can always download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. We had some wildfire smoke in the air today. You might have noticed a little bit of a haze. This is not going to impact us much more going forward. In fact, the haze should go away as winds come from the north, and that should push the smoke out, the little that's still out there. Things are going to change as we look ahead. Tomorrow, it's partly cloudy. An isolated shower is possible late in the day. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. A few scattered showers around tomorrow night. Showers early Saturday give way to clearing skies. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Partly cloudy tonight, low 49. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 72. An isolated shower. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, tracking a few showers as we head into the weekend. The weather looks a lot warmer next week with a lot more humidity and some pop-up storms on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be right back.
Curtis for cluing us in on that video. That's scary.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks to Alan for sending that in. Yeah, it's pretty scary, especially something in the middle of the neighborhood. You know?
Yeah, in Whitesboro, no less.
Whitesboro, yeah, for sure.
Speaking of white light,
yeah,
beautiful sunset.
Beautiful sunset tonight. Also, the northern lights are out. You need the camera. You need camera in camera mode. Look to the north. There's a faint glow. I think it's going to get a little bit better, but yeah, it's some really cool things to see in the night sky. The beautiful sunsets we've been having were due to wildfire smoke, which is still in the air, kind of muting some of the colors from the north here tonight. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are looking quiet. It's cooling down. We're 54 degrees, clear skies in place, and tonight overnight lows drop into the upper 40s. It's a very comfortable night for sleeping. You can I believe the windows open, cool off the house. We are tracking a generally dry day tomorrow, but we do have some rain in the forecast for the weekend. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Construction and intersection.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Just got back indoors here. I was outside during the commercial break, and I can see the Northern Lights using a camera. In fact, there's even a couple of pillars that are just starting to show up. This was the picture that I took about an hour ago, and it has gotten a little bit better. It's gotten a little bit brighter. A green glow to the north can be seen with a camera in night mode. And again, if you look above that green, you might see a few dancing pillars in the night sky. This was an unexpected solar storm. It is expected to continue into tonight. And of course, we have clear skies, and it's happening, so I think it's worth mentioning if you're interested in doing that before you go to bed tonight. Live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 54 degrees. This weekend, we're tracking rain, both Saturday and Sunday. It doesn't look to be a washout. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. Showers around early Saturday. The second half of the day looks better. Sunday, just a few scattered showers are expected with high temperatures in the low 70s. And we are looking at yet another wet weekend here in central New York. If you're looking to get the hay cut and baled, really tomorrow's the last day to do that because we do have rain in store. It was nice to get a couple of dry days here, but unfortunately that is going to change. Also, what's going to change is the humidity. A very comfortable day today, but the humidity returns next week. You might want to think about putting in the air conditioner if you haven't already done so, because we're looking at a lot more summer-like conditions here for the middle and end of the week. Things look pretty quiet on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. A little bit of light smoke out there tonight, but it's not causing any big problems. It might cause a little bit of a haze in the sky into tomorrow. High pressure in control for now, but low pressure is moving in. And again, that's going to give us a few showers here as we head into the weekend. We're dry tonight. Overnight lows drop into the 40s, so it is a cool night. Looks like a beautiful day tomorrow. Slight chance of a shower. High temperature is in the low 70s. Better chance for showers tomorrow night as well as early Saturday. The second part of Saturday looks nicer with high temperatures in the low 70s and hopefully a little bit of sunshine. Partly cloudy tonight, low 49. Tomorrow, looking at partly sunny skies, isolated shower, a high of 72. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, some on and off showers over the weekend. Temperatures in the low 70s. Monday looks dry, 76. Showers, thunderstorms in the forecast with more humidity as we head into the middle of next week. We'll be right back.